Hi, I'm Dr. Brian, and in today's video, we're gonna talk all about how to get rid of hip pain. So let's get moving. So you're dealing with hip pain, right? Well, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna work on getting rid of some of that tension that actually occurs in an area that we don't typically look at when we're dealing with hip pain. And then we're gonna try to get some better activation back to your hips the way it's supposed to be and off some of these overworking or compensatory muscles. You wanna make sure you check out all three of these exercises, so make sure you stick till the end of the video. The first exercise is gonna be working on your adductor muscles and trying to mobilize them. Your adductors are your inner thigh muscles. So what we're gonna do for that is we're going to grab a foam roller. If you have one at home, use that. If you don't have one, check in our bio below. We have a link to ones that we really like. You're gonna get this foam roller at about a 45-degree angle to your thigh, and you're gonna start up a little bit higher. What we're gonna do is we're gonna find a nice tender spot. Once we find that tender spot, we're gonna put a little bit of pressure with our body weight by turning into it, and then we're simply just gonna kick. Now, I said at the beginning of this video that this group of muscles, the adductors, we don't typically think about with hip pain, but when your hip isn't working correctly, then you're actually gonna create more stress, or you're gonna use these muscles more. It's gonna create a pulling effect on that hip. So you're gonna find 3 spots, and you're gonna kick about 5 times at each. And I will warn you that the lower you go, the more tender it's going to be. Now, if you have a hard time getting to this position because your hip does feel super tight or it is painful, then you can actually kind of sheet in a little bit to not put your hip at such an extreme angle. But after you find 3 spots and 5 kicks, then you're gonna switch to the other side. Even if just one side hurts, it's still beneficial to do both. And that's what we're gonna do. Same thing, we're gonna get about a 45-degree angle, and then I'm just gonna kick that foot out as far as I comfortably can. And when I say comfortably, it should be a little bit of some tenderness under the pressure of the roller. We don't want to put ourselves in a position where it's actually super tender or painful in the hip. If that is, then just scoot forward a little bit. When we find those 3 spots, we're gonna do about 5 kicks at each. And like I said, that lower one, where we hit kind of the attachment point of those adductors or those groin muscles that attach to the knee, really are gonna be a little tender. So after we do 5 of those presses, or mobilizations, then we're gonna do a sideline band kick. Now, I have 2 different bands here. If you're not using bands or you haven't in the past, then I recommend that you use an orange one or a lighter one. If you have, or you do a lot of lifting, if you are into weightlifting or you're just stronger, then I would suggest a red one. And again, if you don't have any bands, we do have a link to these in the bio below. So I'm gonna use a red one. And what we're doing is we're gonna do about 30 seconds worth of kicks, trying to get that stress back to that cheek. So I'm gonna lay on my side with my belly button turned towards the floor a little bit. And all I'm gonna do is just kick up and out straight. And I'm gonna do this for 30 seconds. And the key is that your knee never goes above your foot as I do this. So we're not trying to kick this way. I'm just kicking out. And as I kick, I'm making sure that I kick back so it's in line with my body. It's not in front of my body with that. We got another 5 seconds. And of course, we're gonna do the other side with that as well. So same thing, just laying on that left side. Now I like to hold the band with my bottom hand, just keeps it at a better angle as I kick. So, and if you need to, you can hold it with both hands, but one should be good. But we're trying to get those kicks in. I'm not trying to get into a lot of hip flexion, so I'm not bringing it all the way back, just right to here and back. It's a short range. The key is really trying to get your hip more to that outer range where you really feel that back pocket or cheek working. Do one more rep. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 15 marching bridges. So this is gonna be the third movement that's gonna really help transfer to all the functional movements, your squats, your walking, stairs, whatever it may be. So this marching bridge, your feet are gonna be outside of your hips.
You're gonna drive your hips up towards the ceiling, keeping your belly button tight to your spine. And all we're gonna do is just put as much pressure through that left foot as we can, bringing that right knee up, and then alternate. And left and right is 1 rep. So we're doing 15 of these, just trying to keep those hips up as high as we can. Now you're gonna probably feel a little bit of cramping in your hamstring. So if you do, that's okay, take a break. But we're really trying to keep that tension in the cheeks and the hamstrings and not your low back. And just trying to really burn out those hip muscles. I keep those abs tight. I'm trying to push down through the inside of my foot every step that I take. I don't want that knee to go out. Just pushing down, and at your own pace, get these 15 reps. We have about 3 more on each side. I'm focusing on my big toes, staying down. I'm not rolling to the outside of my foot as I do this. Just keeping all that good tension in those hip muscles. After you're done with those marching bridges, go ahead and stand up, see how those hips feel. Should feel nice, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit less stress, especially if you're feeling the pain in the front or to the side of the hip. If you're dealing with pain in your squats, go ahead and squat down, see how that feels, and there should be some improvement. If it's still there a little bit, do another round, watch the video again. If you guys enjoy today's content, please like, share, and subscribe so others can be finding this content as well. I appreciate you for watching today's video, making movement mandatory, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.